Miami loves to have a Cuban hero, and his job is to provide Locadio with the ammunition.
That group up top can be very effective for Charleston Battery, though. They have leaned on Jeremy Kelly, who has been very much in a rhythm for the home side. He's our player to watch tonight, brought to us by Soccer 5. And why not? Jeremy Kelly's been amazing. All but 13 minutes in the last 5 for the Battery. He's been dialed in.
Oh, he's Mr. Consistency, isn't he? He's the creative force in this team, but he keeps things organized. He dictates the tempo, keeps things ticking. Great player to have in any side.
Full 90 against the Riverhounds. He may very well go the distance again tonight. Meanwhile, for this Miami FC side, the best group in our league at counter-attacking goals. There's going to be opportunities to counter with the offense that Charleston brings to bear. Happy to have you here on Golazo, everyone. Corey Brooks, Simon Evans with you. Simon, these are the matchups that go a long way in determining the final standings. We talked about it there in the open, but you have to be dialed in right now in order to have that momentum for when we get to the playoffs. That's going to be the focus, certainly for the Battery, as they try and lock down that top 3 seed, and for Miami, as they want to get on the right side of the line.
Well, yeah, Miami have to get in there, right? They're on the bubble at the moment. Charleston are going to be in there, but whether they get home advantage, where their position is in the playoffs, that's all to be determined. But Miami have to come here and look for 3 points, which means we should get a good open game.
They'll be unafraid to attack. Will Miami FC? Charleston Battery, never shy in the offensive departments. A good crowd on hand here on a Monday night. Getting the opportunity for the look. And so the energy and the confidence comes from this moment. Underway, Miami FC and Charleston Battery to kick off the final stretch of the campaign. We talked about John Berner in goal for Battery. Boy, whom will be the other. 3-7-6 on the campaign. His 5 clean sheets constitute a top 10 mark in our league. About 1,500 minutes. 1.56 goals against average on a 65% save percentage.
Ground staff here at Pleasures Point did a great job to get this field ready for action tonight after all the rain that they had on Friday, of course, and over the weekend. Never easy to get these fields back in condition to play, and they've done a good job here.
Getting it ready for the opening 11 on each side. That is our Fix-It 24/7 starting lineup in both directions. Again, Miami keeping it the same from our originally scheduled Saturday night affair. Charleston Battery making the one change, inserting Wilmer Cabrera and allowing Colton Swan to come off the bench.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll see Swan at some stage. Just come back from international duty, and of course, he's also been part of a transfer story.
He is the leading goal scorer for the Battery, so no doubt about it. We dive in to what makes it happen in tonight's keys to the game, which are brought to us by Mercedes-Benz Vance Charleston. For the home side in the Battery, it must be a fast start. The Riverhounds scored almost instantaneously. Cannot concede early. Goals completely change games. And meanwhile, for Miami, keep your room clean. If you allow El Room to do his thing, we all know what he can do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for Miami on the road, a lot of it's going to be about this first 20 minutes. Can they just, take the sting out of the home side a little bit, neutralize them, stop them getting on the front foot too much, and just gradually ease themselves into the game on the road. But Charleston will be looking absolutely to dominate from the outset.
Brought to us by Mercedes-Benz Vance Charleston. For the home side in the Battery, it must be a fast start. The Riverhounds scored almost instantaneously.
Seed early. Goals completely change games. And meanwhile, for Miami, keep your room clean. If you allow El Room to do his thing, we all know what he can do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for Miami on the road, a lot of it's going to be about this first 20 minutes. Can they just, take the sting out of the home side a little bit, neutralize them, stop them getting on the front foot too much, and just gradually ease themselves into the game on the road. But Charleston will be looking absolutely to dominate from the outset.
Ben Kierman, quite blunt about what he thought about his group in that Pittsburgh matchup. Said they just played soft, and that's been something they've had to deal with on the road. But now back at home, you get the chance to really cement yourself and the team they're capable of being. Quick clear for John Burner. Burner sharing a trend with many of his Charleston teammates, having worked with Ben Pierman before. Was with him in Memphis when John Burner went through a lot, tore his Achilles, and so Coach Pierman has a humongous network, right, in the USL champion.
Yeah.
We see it all the time. Players he's had the opportunity to coach before come to Charleston and continue a great opportunity.
Yeah, when you have a backup goalkeeper, and he has been backup goalkeeper for most of the time, you want somebody with that character and personality.
Malik Foster sensed he was offside, so he kind of pulled up the run. As we take a look at our injury report, brought to us by MUSC. Fortunately for both teams, largely fairly healthy. Now, Luis Zamudio will not go tonight. That's why Burner's in the net. But we saw him warming up before the game, so you hope that's just preventative for Battery, and they'll have their lead goaltender back sooner rather than later.
Yeah, a minor knock was how it was described to me, and I think they're not taking any risks, of course, with the playoffs on the horizon as well. No need to aggravate if it's a small strain or a bruising and so on.
Call him El Pulpo, having 8 limbs, so that's the guy you want in net. So they'll certainly hope that they get it back sooner rather than later. A couple quick fouls. Take a look at one here. A little bit of physicality to be expected in the match tonight.
Yeah, both teams want to make their presence felt in these opening exchanges. Nothing too rough, but the referee getting in there and drawing a line there.
Exactly what you want early. Especially for a Miami side that has been on that line at times, navigating discipline with good physical play. It's a very challenging line to straddle.
It is because, you see teams, if the players are being wary of picking up a yellow, wary of giving away fouls, then they perhaps don't go into challenges with the full force, and then maybe the coach calls them soft after the game, right? So, you've got to be careful and find that right balance. But early on in the game, a referee is going to be very conscious of that because players like to make their presence physically felt on their opponents, especially in one-on-one matchups across the field.
Benona, the one who knocked it out for Charleston. Miami getting a little warning after swapping the throw-in man a couple of times. Eventually, it'll be the captain, Dalton Knudsen. Test his arm, does get it to the front of the 6. The whistle comes, a point the other direction, and so nothing to be had for it. The whistle ensuring a Battery possession as Gaston Anani makes his point known in his second year, career beginning with that prestigious Boca Juniors program. He's been around and has that international flair that you have to have as a Miami side.
Yeah, absolutely. As manager of Miami FC, coach of Miami FC, you're going to be dealing with a multinational squad from day one. So, and as the club goes out and recruits, you don't know what nationalities you're going to get in there. But there's a pretty good chance there's going to be quite a few of them from the Spanish-speaking world and from South America in particular.
Cross in, well defended by Charleston. The early box defending onus has been on the home side in the Battery. Miami off to a good possession start. Emilio Icaza in there scrapping, and he will force the foul on Miami FC.
I think he relishes these kind of little physical battles, Icaza, doesn't he? He's in there. He's that kind of midfielder who likes to, operate on the line, on the edge, as it were.
He's amped his aggression. He's had a tackle 1 in the last 5 matches for Charleston. That's his best run of play on the year. And that's saying a lot for a guy who's had every single minute but about half an hour since April 18th. Wearing the captain armband for a reason. Good adjustment there by Burner to prevent a really tough miscommunication. Kaza went over 100 appearances earlier this year for Charleston. Graham Smith, appearance 199 for the Battery. Quick cross in. A dangerous moment, but it never settles at defeat. Miami's the team who's been the counterattack experts, but 2 run-of-play moments for Charleston have come in the counter.
Yeah, Messer getting forward as well. Keep an eye on him because he does like to. He doesn't overdo it. He picks his moments for those overlaps down the left. But when he does go, he really makes the most of it.
Nathan Messer, the very definition of a modern backer, leading the USL Championship in crosses. He can defend, and he will create a ton of chances from the boundary. He's looking to do exactly that right now. Down the left side, Battery will be patient, though. Reset everything. Abenonu switching into space. Wind gets a hold of it, and it winds up carrying out for a Miami throw.
Yeah, just going back to Messi, it makes such a difference for a team when they have a fullback like that who can play almost as a wing back. You can. It means defensively you can either line up in a 4 like they've gone tonight, and you've got one guy who's going to go in and add an overload in midfield, or if you play in a 5, you've got a player there who can do a 2-way job. So it makes such a difference.
He was primarily an attacker/winger until his senior year. Then he switched to left back, did Nathan Messer. Emblematic of another thing we see from Coach Bierman. A lot of the guys have either been around him before and also have positional versatility, something he demands of all his sides, constantly changing the puzzle in front of their opponents. A lot of different shapes.
But that role, that wing-back, full-back role has become so important in the game today.
This is something else Charleston does well. Looking for the cross, a little bit too heavy. Good adjustment by Messer. Can he get to it before the byline? I think he did. A little bit of chaos created from Nathan Messer, hitting the slide just in time and generating a chance out of nowhere for Charleston Battery.
Yeah, just a question of who it came off last here. Messer goes to whip that cross in. I think it might have just hit him as it was going out of play.
They set up for the corner, but officials gather and talk about it and say it was out for the goal kick right before Messer got the piece of it. Battery forced the turnover in the middle third. This is where they can do some of their best work, that constant passing. This is the best passing team in the championship, the most accurate as well. And some very quick words to prevent tempers from getting a little fired up. These guys have been waiting for this for a couple of days already.
Yeah, you can tell, can't you? They've been cooped up thinking about this game since Saturday night.
Right back to the cross. Miami all the right answers. Box defending plus marks for both sides in our first 11 minutes. Now the foul comes against the Battery with the first few in the matchup going against Miami.
Not easy for players, of course, when they come into a city expecting a game on a Saturday. They've trained all week, got into that rhythm for that game, and then they have to make a readjustment.
Just a bit short, nearly had the give and go. There's that final third turnover. Where did the Battery go? They've been buzzing these last couple of minutes. Can they turn it into a shot on goal? Icaza stripped clean. The Miami counterattack quickly on. Romero pushing pace, centering feed and the chance. Right outside the 18, played back. And the flag up for offside. Almost a golden moment for Matias Romero.
Yeah, we saw signs there of that Miami counterattack, didn't we? Turnover forced, and then Romero making the burst down the right. Only Lucardia to find in the middle, but sometimes that can be enough.
Matias Romero missing about the whole month of June. That's something this Miami FC side has had to deal with. It's why you see the great run of form early on in the year, why they were on the right side of the line just a week ago. But it becomes a real challenge when the guys you're counting on aren't available for health reasons. But they've started to get healthier. A lot of the guys who missed time now back, and there's a real opportunity for Miami FC. The challenge will be what it is today. A lot of their final matches are on the road away from Pitbull Stadium. Easier said than done in this league.
Right, but if they can keep a consistent starting lineup throughout this running towards the playoffs, that can make such a difference. It really does. I mean, it's one of the great intangibles. It's just the familiarity that you have, especially on the defensive side with partnerships that are the same.
Romero, a perfect example of it. This is his 8th straight start, but he's coming off his first full 90 since July 25th. So getting back into fighting shape, making all the difference for Romero. Now, can Battery throw the first punch? Scrum for it, free kick and a great spot for Charleston.
And just a little nudge in the thigh of Cabrera there from Arthur Rogers. Just enough to knock him over. The referee was in a great position there, 3 or 4 yards away from the incident. Not a lot in it, but just enough, and I think the right decision.
Positioning from Wilmer Cabrera.
Well, Barry looks like he really fancies this one, doesn't he?
Free kick scoring opportunity brought to you by Pro Lift Garage Doors. 3 goals on the year for Miguel Berry. You know he's thinking about number 4. Berry bombs it down into the wall. It never gets through. Threat not done. It remains a Charleston throw.
Yeah, sometimes you can just tell from the body language guy and Miguel Berry there. He had no doubt at all what he was going to try and do with that free kick. There was no question of him floating it out wide or anything else. He was going for it.
Some pure power. The wall does its job. Battery right back on the attack. Messer. Dangerous cross. But Miami where they needed to be. Second ball. Never gets to room. The biggest difference in this match through 15 minutes, the box defending of Miami FC, and they win the possession back.
That cross from Messer was beautiful. Absolutely the perfect delivery you want from the left flank. Especially when you've got a big man in there like Berry.
Lessie setting pace. Leaves a good ball. Ocadia had it a little bit light. Battery on the counterattack. Charleston pushing numbers quickly down the pitch. It's a dead-on sprint. Foster now taps the brakes. Isidro played ahead, Messer. Messer right outside the 18, goes down, looking for it, nothing to be had. Still with Charleston though. Emilio Icasa. Well done. Couldn't quite find the gap in the line. And Miami does the job. Now looking for their own counter, looking for Localia down the pitch. Landry says not today. A round of applause from the home faithful for Osu Landry, taking care of one of the best goal scorers in the championship. Messer. Value the possession, as he so often does. An assist in 2 of his last 3 matches for Nathan Messer. Search Malik Foster inside the 18. Zubaidi available for selection today, coming over from the Iraqi First League. That was just a couple of days ago. Coach Madani and this Miami FC group not content to sit beneath the line. They're going to continue to adjust, make the right decisions, boost this roster as much as they can. In addition to, like we talked about earlier, Milanes getting his opportunity to continue to go. Charleston dominating possession the last 10 minutes. Give and go, real opportunity, and there you go. A textbook setup and an elite finish. Malik Foster has his 7th for the Battery.
Oh, he took that so well, didn't he? Very confident. Ice cool finish.
One of the top goal scorers in the championship. Top 20 and rising. Dump it off, take it right back. Absolute no-doubter from Foster.
It's a lovely ball from Berry, though, isn't it? Just look at that technique. Outside of his boot, splitting 3 defenders with 1 ball, and then Foster has no hesitation at all. Cool runnings from the Jamaican.
Miguel Berry will pick up assist number 4 on the year. Folks who made the trip out to Patriots Point, many of them for a second time in the last couple of days, being rewarded in the first 20 with a Foster goal.
Yeah, and credit to those fans. Yeah, I mean, they would have spent a not-so-fun Saturday night sat in their cars with thunder and lightning and rain pouring down on them, hoping that it would stop and they'd get some action on Saturday. And then here they are back again on a Monday, supporting their team. So a little early reward for them.
Seventh for Foster, also ties in for the team high. Colton Swan sitting at 7 as well, the leading scorer entering play for Charleston.
That's the kind of goal that will really please Ben Fairman, though, to see that kind of understanding, the combination between 2 of his attacking players. Players keeping their composure in front of goal as well. Lots of good indications that things are going right for Charleston in that goal.
Felt like it was building the few minutes before that. So much of the play was out wide. That turns out to be the diversion. It was a central and direct. 1-2 touch, 1 goal. 1-0 lead for Charleston. Team that's been top 2 in goal scoring the last few years. Another golden chance, ripped from distance, and it's just off the mark. 2 very different approaches, but nearly 2 equally impressive finishes as Cabrera was just off.
What's going on with Berry? Look at him. He's enjoying himself tonight. He's having fun. And Cabrera, wow, that wasn't far away at all, was it? Great left foot effort on the turn. Just curling away from goal, but another yard to the left, and that would have been 2-0.
Wilmer Cabrera has a great goal-scoring pedigree in this league. Out of El Paso and RGVFC, he's been the club leader in goals before. Now, another option in this loaded Battery arsenal. Arthur Rogers to throw in for Miami. Rogers getting the start, his second. Both of them have come in the last 2 matches for the visiting side. Bouncing ball. Berry on both ends holding serve. Miami looking for the direct chance. Played back and clean. Threat's not done yet. Rogers plays wide. Patience from Romero. And eventually cleared. It was Messer who got to it on the byline. It It is the guys doing it on both ends of the pitch right now, Barry and Messer. The definition of your modern players, not pigeonholed to their starting shape.
Absolutely. And you just can't play like that anymore in modern football.
Sure enough, Messer sets the assist. Really dangerous run. Foster's already got one. Sent away. Oh, Malik Foster was thinking, bracing thoughts, but denied by Room.
Yeah, we saw plenty of that in the World Cup from Room, didn't we?
Yeah.
Those games from Curacao. Good takedown from Foster. Get it in there, low drive. But Room anticipated it well. Got down.
Take a look at this elite offense. Charleston best in the lead. Number one last year as well, number two in 2024. It's something you expect from a Ben Pierman team, and this group has delivered. You come to Patriots Point, you expect to see some goals scored, and sure enough, even here at the Hydro, Charleston has that 1-0 lead.
Yeah, and I don't think it's just going to be one tonight, is it? You just feel watching this game that whatever the outcome's going to be, and Miami's going to have a big say in that, I don't think it's going to finish 1-0. I think there's going to be more goals in this game, for sure.
Room already with the big save. You mentioned the World Cup. 15 saves against Ecuador, the World Cup record. I imagine Miami FC fans, maybe appropriately here at the Hydro break, it's got to be a bit of a drinking game for them at this point. When somebody mentions the record for Room, it's probably come up in every Miami FC broadcast since. But hey,
Sure.
Every broadcast is somebody's first. So cheers, even on a Monday night. This is the guy who got it done and captured the hearts of the world with that performance for Curacao.
Oh, he really did, though, didn't he? I mean, it was an unbelievable game. That I was watching it with friends, and you just thought, they're going to beat him eventually. And he just kept pulling off save after save. And watching it at the World Cup and knowing this was the guy playing for Miami FC and USL was, made it a lot more special. So, absolutely incredible achievement for him, and became one of the real stars of the World Cup in a way at the end of his career, really.
Jurgen Locadia as well, going for Curacao, 240 minutes, starting all three. He didn't have a club at the time. That's the commonality between these two. Miami FC fans have probably heard these stories before, but again, every broadcast is somebody's first. Eloy Room had to train by himself, just staying fit, getting ready for the World Cup. Then that propels him to this opportunity with Miami FC, where he's top 10 in the league in saves.
Yeah, absolutely. And, that Curacao story was one that I think was a talking point around the world, not just here. I mean, it impacts us because we live in the CONCACAF region,
right.
And we've seen sometimes these teams struggle and find a way to even qualify for tournaments. But around the world, people were watching it, and, it was awesome. It really was.
John Berner is a fan of goaltending. Probably had a big smile for his counterpart in this one. To borrow another World Cup storyline, Broom at one point did the jersey swap with Lionel Messi. And if the World Cup taught us anything, everything Messi touches turns to gold. Yamal was the case in point. Another one we talked about quite often.
Yeah.
Little baby picture. And he grows up to be one of the best in the world. Messi looks pretty much the same. Testament to him.
It's incredible, that picture, isn't it, when you look at it and think.
Almost an interesting deflection for Charleston. Rogers and company will just reset. Head out for a throw. Battery Matches are the perfect place to make lifelong memories with your friends and family. Your group of 10 or more can enjoy discounted tickets, exclusive on-field experiences, and private hospitality areas to catch the match. Visit charlestonbattery.com to learn more and plan a memorable night at Patriots Point. This one already off to a memorable start. Malik Foster with one, very nearly two. Two tremendous runs on goal. And now Wilmer Cabrera looks to reignite his guys, but well defended in the back. Alessi right there to handle it for Miami FC. Both teams trying to value that possession and hit the big counter when it opens up. Good veteran move by Burner. No need to rush it and give away what is a guaranteed goal if you turn it over. I'll give you one more World Cup tie, and it has to do with Burner, not Boom. The first goal that John Burner gave up in his career was to Thierry Henry, World Cup broadcasting superstar Thierry Henry.
World Cup winner, too.
World Cup winner. Multiple broadcasting assists to Zlatan Ibrahimovic, perhaps the breakout superstar of the World Cup, not named Yamal. In very typical Zlatan fashion, he said, yep, I'm done. Perfect. Opening booking of the match. There's been a lot of physicality kind of in between moments. And so Laurent Kissidou will pick up the yellow, his second.
Yeah, he's just late, catching him late, and I think there's no malicious intent there. I just think he's sliding in and he's just got his timing all wrong.
You can see the frustration. It was just a couple matches ago. He had to sit out after getting a red. So now he sees the yellow in the first half hour. The good news is you get the benefit of experience, right? Okay, I went through this now. Playing on a yellow is absolutely a skill in this sport.
Yep.
And Kissidou will have a chance to flex it.
It's a skill, but it's also a factor that comes into the coach's mind when he thinks about his substitutions at halftime and in the second half. And he's put himself in the thoughts of his coach.
Especially for a Charleston side that leads the championship in goals off the bench. Depth is not a problem for the Battery. Especially since their leading goal scorer coming into the day would be coming off the bench. Battery looking perhaps for a second goal before those subs would come in. Tie up favors Jeremy Kelly. Free kick entrance to the final third. The foul on Diaz.
Yeah, just a tug of the shirt on Kelly.
Battery go with the quick restart. Almost as always, looking to set up the Messer cross.
Kelly, after that foul, was having a word with the referee, really, and I think saying that they were getting a little bit tired of like the tactical team fouls, players taking turns to break up and disrupt Charleston's rhythm in midfield, and that's important to point those things out to referees.
Foster drops down this time. Barry fires just over the top. Trying to invert it. The first was Barry to Foster. Nearly Foster to Barry, but a bit high.
Yeah, he'll want this one back, Miguel Barry. Good breakaway from Foster. Inside, just slightly behind him, which means he needs to adjust, and he's just leaning back a little bit on that shot. You want to really be running onto that ball from Foster rather than having to check back.
Started 13 of the last 15. Barry, somebody that Coach Pearman very much trusts. Now Kelly, centering feed, deflected out wide. Another long ball, caroms off the side of the foot. Turn to CBS Sports Network on Wednesday, September 2nd at 7:30 p.m. Eastern for a USL League One clash. Newcomer Fort Wayne FC pushes for the playoffs as league veteran Richmond Kickers look to play spoiler. Catch all the action on CBS Sports Network on Wednesday, September 2nd. Name of the game at this point, isn't it? You're pushing for the playoffs. And especially here in the championship and especially here in the Eastern Conference. There's such a crowd around that line. Nothing is guaranteed in the final 10 or so match days.
No, that's why, the points are at a premium here tonight because Miami have to get themselves over that line. And it'd be a very disappointing season for them if they were to miss out on the playoffs. And Charleston, it's more of them about getting that momentum for the postseason, isn't it? Going in there on a confident, winning feeling.
Rowdies have a bit of space at the 1, but those next 3 are separated by absolutely nothing. And especially coming into this match day, the sudden game in hand after the 48-hour delay, Charleston dropped in the standings, but not really. They just hadn't played yet. So an opportunity for a few points to get right back to that 2, which is where they started. Flick ahead. Reclaimed by Kelly right by the byline. Now Messer at the boundary. Messer's cross. Lofted into the area just over the head of Barry and clear.
It's another great cross from Messer. He's like a machine out there on the left, whipping those crosses in. Great shape on them. I thought Barry might have anticipated that a little bit better than he did.
That Pyramid has really challenged Nathan Messer to get going. He's been subbed off in the last couple matches. It's the first time that's happened since May. So far, it certainly seems like Messer has answered that challenge from his head coach.
But look at the work he's doing as well. I mean, he was literally the most forward player on the field for Charleston, and then suddenly...
Uh-oh! And the red shown. That's just an unforced error. In his first start, Danielson Milanes gives that extra little shove. And to be honest, Simon, I think that's going to be a red nearly every time.
Yeah, I mean, the face suggests he can't believe this and he doesn't know what he's done, but we'll see on the replay if that's the case. Or is he just dawning on him what he has actually done? Let's see.
It's been a chippy game. There's been some emotion to it. Milanes getting the chance. There's that first bit of physicality. Ikaza kind of throws the hand at him, but it's often the one who retaliates, right? And the second you see Danielson extend his arm, that's a wrap. That's red.
Right in front of the referee. The referee is there, right. I mean, he's a yard away from them and he pushes him over. I mean, could you give a yellow in that circumstance? Yes, you could. I don't think it was very violent, but right in front of the referee to do that, you're asking for trouble.
Obviously, no grand intent, just an emotional moment for a guy who's worked so hard to get to this point. It's almost Kimbo Slice style. The Ballers League, the soccer tournament, just working his way up to get this opportunity with a little bit of Miami hustle. And right there, the moment got the better of him. And Miami FC will play with 10 the rest of the way.
Yeah, that's inexperience, isn't it? I mean, in a situation like that, you have to know not to get involved. Yes, was he retaliating? Was he provoked? Yes, he was. But if you do that right in front of the referee as well, where he can see the hand go on the body. But there wasn't a lot of force there. I can see why he's a little bit surprised at the decision. But
yeah. I don't blame Coach Madani for fighting for his guy here, especially as Miami as it gets in that guy. And did Emilio Ikaza go down a little easier than if he wanted to do otherwise? Of course. But that's the nature of it, right? Especially in front of an official. The player is going to go down. Make the official make that call. And I'm not sure there could have been any other result. Frustrating as that may be for Miami FC.
yeah, and now they're up against it. A goal down, a man down.
Giannis had been very disciplined in his adjustment. Just the one yellow coming into play. Got the contract extension. This Miami FC side so excited about what he can bring to the table. And that still remains very true. But now it's a match and a half after the red that they'll be without him.
But strange things can happen when teams have a man advantage. Sometimes they do start to feel relaxed. The other team feels they have to work a little bit extra to make up for the missing player. Strange things can happen sometimes. So it's by no means predetermined that this game is going to go Charleston's way.
Especially for the best counter-attacking team in the championship. When you're playing 10 on 11, it is almost always that sudden counter that nets you a tally. Miami still very much has that in them. Cabrera and Icaza can just take their time. At Patriots Point, they get a little bit of Pierman points. Hold possession, value the moment. This is exactly the way the fourth-year head coach designs it for his team. To set up this, there's the bomb down the flank. Messer. Cross into the area. Almost. Easier said than done for Miami to continue a ferocious box defense to this point. Romero won it along the side. Well done.
Any centre forwards watching this game are simply drooling at the moment about the delivery from Messer on the left. Those crosses are just perfect for like an old-fashioned number 9, strong in the air.
Again, some more words exchanged. Cabrera went down this time. Cabrera, the initial contact, and then Romero kind of on top of him to follow it.
Yeah, nothing much there, really.
But I think because of the words afterwards, the yellow will be shown. And Miami FC, understandably, given that all the colors have worked against them in the last few minutes, visibly frustrated. Kevin Broadley has had a challenging officiating start, not in that he's done anything wrong, but he's been forced to make a lot of decisions in the first 40 minutes, and very impactful decisions as well. Middle cross on the hop, no issue for John Berner. Reminder fans that the Battery are back in action here at Patriots Point on Wednesday, September 2nd, as they take on Hartford Athletic. Kickoff for that match is at 7 p.m. and tickets are on sale now. Get yours before they're gone at SeatGeek.com/Charleston Battery tickets. That's John Berner's club from a year ago, Hartford Athletic. He'll go against his former team. That's been the name of the game. There's a few Riverhounds on this Charleston side that went against their former team in the matchup before this for the Battery. As we might see later, like Sean Stubert, Langston Blackstock. Somebody we may very well see in that Hartford game in Zamudio. Timely slide by Rogers. Timely slide back. Neither team afraid to take some chances. That's the confidence that comes from your side being 7-0-2 in front of you in the regular season. 12-1-2 last year here at Patriots Point. In the matchups in the USL Championship. If you're a Charleston fan and you got a ticket, the odds are you're going home very happy.
Yeah, and so far it's looking that way here, isn't it? They've been dominating possession even more so after that red card, looking confident. Miami is just going to have to hang into this game and just hope, as you say, that they can find something on the counter. Because Charleston were already dominating possession well before that red card.
We talk about goals change games. Oh,
that's incredible.
You combine this prolific attack with a very good defense. And when Charleston is able to do their thing, execute their offense as designed, not play quote-unquote soft, as Coach Bierman described his side last week. They are the definition of impossible to solve. Good throw. Broom saw it. Malik Foster once again buzzing, though. Looking for his first battery brace.
Well, it's such a well-balanced side, I think, Charleston, and we've seen that in this opening 43 minutes here.
Yeah.
They've got width. They've got play. This looks solid. Not all looks solid. Not a lot of
championship. This has been a group that has continued to remain right near the top of the table. As consistent as it gets in our league, and now flexing the part. Not that they needed the help, but they get to play man.
Miami in USL, made it a lot more special. So, absolutely incredible achievement for him, and became one of the real stars of the World Cup in a way at the end of his career, really.
Jurgen Locadia as well, going for a Curaçao, 240 minutes, starting all three. He didn't have a club at the time. That's the commonality between these two Miami FC fans, guys they started the year with. And that level of consistency goes a long way to providing a chemistry and a rhythm that is ultimately how you win a championship.
Yeah. And in the club shop, they don't have to worry about having too many different names to print on the back of those jerseys.
Kitmen certainly appreciate it. 6 minutes added time.
Nice, clean uniform they have as well. It's all black, but it recently appeared in a retro kit.
Yeah.
Celebrating a championship in the 90s, which was a red, white, and black affair. It looked quite dashing as well.
Edited these ones a little bit too, changed the look of the sponsor. Added time cross, quick and timely. Alpo there to send it away, but an advanced opportunity for Charleston is that they can get a counter press. Calfo, a big part of this defense for Miami FC. All but 45 minutes on the entire campaign for the South Florida side. He subbed off one time. That was against Tampa Bay. One of the Florida derbies. Tampa Bay has a knack for changing other people's lineups. Diaz sets the throw. Easy interception for Charleston. Now they've got ideas on a counter. Graham Smith was right there for the battery. Foster hit the accelerator, but was just a bit behind it. Calfo was able to slow him up just enough.
Tampa the Florida derby for Miami, or just one of?
You'd have to say one of, right, with Sporting Jacks now in the league, but the tradition between those two, yeah, I would probably say that is the Florida derby. Miami FC and Tampa Bay Rowdies. Both of those two have had real moments of brilliance in this league, and of course Tampa Bay right now might be the class of it.
And if you go back to Miami FC's previous incarnation as the Fort Lauderdale Strikers and that rivalry with the Tampa Bay Rowdies, you can go back to the 1970s.
Oh yeah. You can go back as far as you want. There's always kind of an innate rivalry between Tampa Bay and Miami. And much of it stems from the originator of the Cuban sandwich. Tampa folks will tell you, we invented it. It's probably true. Miami folks will tell you, they perfected it. Given the Cuban influence in the 305, also a very strong case to be made. I'm not taking a side. I'm just presenting facts.
How would you perfect it? I mean, it's not a complicated sandwich. With the pickle introduced in Miami, or?
Nice turn. Staying through the crafty touch. He already had an assist. And now it's the berry on top. Miguel Betty doubles the lead 2-0.
Yep, and now it's Miami FC who are in the pickle because this is trouble. 2-0 down, 10 minutes, and Miguel Berry providing a cool finish. But a little bit too easy this for Charleston. Good interchange of passes. Great turn from Berry. Round the keeper and confident finish. Good feet from Miguel Berry. That turn there, though, is really what makes that goal. Covers a little bit there where he could have gone over.
Frustrated, looking around for some help. Berry took that help and cast it away. A guy who's already shown he can score in bunches, as we talk about the Florida teams. He had a brace against Sporting Jackson. And right now, he's got himself a first half goal and an assist. A few points in short order for Miguel Berry. Every single match on the year for Charleston. Remarkable level of consistency. If he doesn't start, at least in the last few, he will immediately come in at halftime. And given how this 50 or so minutes is gone, it's very, very easy to see why.
I quite like him in this central striker, number 9 role that he's playing tonight. I've seen him play off the striker. I've seen him play a little bit deeper and a little bit wider. I think he relishes being the man, you know, being the target, the focal point of the attack. He's coming deep, looking for the ball. He's linking up with the runners extremely well, as he has done on both those goals. Strong performance tonight from Berry.
Another yellow shown. It will be on Diaz, his third. It's a Miami side that has the most yellow cards in the championship. And that has been an issue.
It's the push in the back of the neck, the head area that he gets the yellow card for there. And there's just no need for it, really. You know, he's going in for a challenge high up the field where he can afford to just hold off the player a little bit, block his movement, force him back, or challenge for the ball without whacking the guy in the back of the head.
It can become easy when you've had that challenging run and discipline to feel like everything is going against you.
Right.
It can be understandable, frankly. So it's a line you have to blur. Right now, it's a line that Charleston has taken advantage of. The opening goal for Malik Foster from Miguel Berry. And then in an 11-on-10, Miguel Berry gets in on it as well. A 3-point opening stanza for the 28-year-old first-year Battery star, Miguel Berry. And if you're Ben Pierman, you're going to go to the break much more excited than you were in that last matchup against Pittsburgh.
Oh, absolutely. This has been a great performance from Charleston. They've dominated from the first minute to the interval. Berry's been great. Foster's been good. Messer on the left has whipped in 4 or 5 fantastic crosses. They've dominated possession in midfield. Absolutely perfect opening 45 minutes from the home side.
Charleston strings it together. Miami started strong through the first couple of punches. The Battery defended perfectly. And then Coach Madani and his side fired up. A little bit of physicality sees the Battery up 2-0. There's the first. They got it doubled.
And now, a Pepper Law Firm corner kick.
The Pepper Law Firm is a proud sponsor of the Charleston Battery, where winners win.
your purpose at Charleston Southern University, offering a wide range of undergraduate degree programs, including majors like aeronautics, engineering, business, and education. CSU is committed to providing you with a biblical worldview and a cutting-edge education. The campus experience includes Division I athletics, small class sizes, intramural sports, and more, all at the only Christian university in the Lowcountry of South Carolina. Join the Buccaneer family and apply today at charlestonsouthern.edu.
We've always been heads up about money, but sometimes life throws you a curve, like juggling college for our son and what it might take to help my dad if he needs it. He's always been there for us. Our region's Greenprint plan helped us feel more prepared for whatever comes next. And Mike went the extra mile for us with great advice. We feel like we've got this.
Extra confidence from Greenprint. Extra know-how from our people. Extra is our ordinary at Regions.
All celebration right now for Charleston Battery. 2 quick goals in the first half. And now they look to bridge it over to half number 2 and find themselves their 11th win of the year. An episode of the Battery Podcast. Izzy Sullivan catches up with our player to watch, Jeremy Kelly, talking about his journey alongside Wrexham FC. Here's a listen.
They are absolutely hated in England. I think that's my brother. Only he would do something like that.
I know you played Wrexham AFC in your guys' promotion chasing campaign in Leagues 1 and 2. What was the atmosphere like when you played against a team like that?
They are absolutely hated in England. They just feel like they've come in and thrown money at the team, which is fair, but they've gotten success, but they kind of see it as the American team.
Do you think it's a better feeling when you're promoted compared to the negative feeling when you're relegated?
No, I think the negative feeling of relegation is worse. I think most athletes would say they hate to lose more than they like to win. But it was an amazing night when we did win. You think back to the relegation a bit more as to like what could be if we'd done a few different things differently.
Is High School Musical still your favorite movie?
I think that's my brother. Only he would do something like that. When I first moved to the U.S., I was 10 or 11, and I just loved it. I was like, this is what a high school in the U.S. is like, you know? So no, it's not still my favorite movie, but at the time, it was up there.
Joey thinks he could be a pro golfer if he had all the time and money. Do you agree?
Or Joey?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. No, I've seen him swing a club once, and I don't think so.
Time to access USL. We're going to give you all of it. Al Jennings is back, this time in the Western Conference with Sacramento Republic. How about President and General Manager of Sacramento Republic, Tim Holt, joining us to talk about their massive signing and the possibility of putting another star above the crest. Plus, we are officially down to 4 in Brinks Tires USL Cup play.
Now and then, you need to stop and smell the roses. Or the leaves, rocks, trees, sticks, and that one tree again.
This summer, get 1,000 bonus points and a chance to win 250,000 bonus points.
Matinho going for goal!
You ever just look at them and think, yeah, I'm doing all right.
This summer, get 1,000 bonus points and a chance to win 250,000 bonus points.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Take a load off it. Take a load.
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kind of everything.
This summer, get 1,000 bonus points and a chance to win 200.
Yeah? Yeah. Kumakain din. Sige. Ikaw sa tidengen. Wish. Yeah, of course not.
is presented Best Western Hotels and Resorts, the official hotel partner of the United Soccer League. Well, so far, it's been a Best Eastern performance for this Charleston Battery FC group. They've been locked in. They got to celebrate. They had to wait for it, and then they didn't have to wait very long. About 20 minutes in, it's a phenomenal run by Foster, maybe even better pass from Barry.
Great combination. That's exactly what you want from your forward players, to have that instinctive feeling between each of them.
Action has been strong. They knew where they were going to be before it even happened. Malik Foster was continuing to buzz. He very nearly had a brace about 10 minutes after that, just continuing to work his way towards goal. This is what we saw so much of. Timely interceptions leading to physicality, and it wasn't the initial tackle. It was that second shove that made all the difference, and saw Milanes get the red.
Yeah, not a hugely physical push, but right in front of the referee. Clear retaliation, and he's asking for trouble.
So Danielson has to step off. Miami FC in that tough spot where you're man down. And then it was our MUSC Health Sports Medicine stoppage time where Barry makes it 3 in the first half. 1 goal, 1 assist. He gets to break out the silencer. Why not? He was brilliant.
Yeah, that turn was top class. Kept his cool with the finish.
A frustrated room as you start to look at it. Sometimes shots doesn't tell the story of a match, Simon. I think in this case it does. 9-0 in favor of Charleston. Early possession belonged to Miami. Charleston winds up with 2/3 of it. That was about as thoroughly as you can control a half of soccer, understanding Miami was a man down.
Absolutely, and once they got that man advantage, they were just playing keep ball with it, and then still managed to find their way through to get a second goal as well. So really dominant performance from Charleston. Miami have to come up with something in this 45 minutes.
Miami gets ready to restart. El Senora will come in, second half underway, and for Miami FC, a brand new debut. Al-Zubaydi gets his chance. We mentioned him earlier in the match, just signed a few days ago, coming over from the Iraqi First League. He'll be wearing number 2. He's out there for the very first time for Miami FC. Other end of things, Akhomov will come on for Charleston, relieving Kisidou, and Sean Suber on, relieving Osu. So sure enough, that's something you talked about, Simon, that early yellow. Well, around Kisidou, we'll see him go off at halftime.
Yeah.
Battery on the attack. Looking for perhaps the insurance goal right out of the gate. Not to be had. Miami weathered a lot of storms with good defending around the 18, and that's how it starts in the first minute of play here in half 2.
Yeah, we talk about not giving the referee decisions to make. Don't give your coach decisions to make as well. If you want to play 90 minutes, don't give yourself a yellow card in the first half. It just gives the coach, a factor and a reason to take you out of the game. And I think when you have a one-man advantage like this, you're even more conscious of it, because there's always that feeling that the referee, and it's not true, referees don't do decisions. They don't do make-up calls the way that a lot of people think they do. But there's always that feeling that if you've had a red card for your opponent, you're at greater risk of getting one yourself.
Right towards the end line, nifty little drop, centered on the 18, and top shelf. That is as good as it gets, a bouncing ball to the most dangerous man. He breaks out the silencer. It's a battery brace for Miguel Berry and an assist as well. Another brace. He did it against Jax. He does it again against Miami. The guy likes playing against Florida teams.
Oh, yeah. I mean, his confidence will be sky high now. He's been playing with flair all night and really bubbling. But here he is again. Message works his way back to it. Bang! No hesitation. Top corner. That's a total confidence goal. Absolutely blasted into that top corner.
Coming into this match, Miguel Berry had 3 goals in the regular season. He has 2 in about 50 minutes of action here against Miami FC, and the Battery are pouring it on. A guy with championship pedigree. Won a title in the MLS has that world flair for soccer. Born in Spain, raised in San Diego, so the Spanish flair with an American grit. And Miguel Verdi has shown every bit of it tonight. Early front runner for the man of the match. May have already clinched it for that matter. He's also done some great work off the pitch, has Barry, founding the Inverted Ribbon Project, a foundation designed to help kids with cancer.
Good for them.
Can't do any better than that. Can't do any better than he's done here at Patriots Point tonight.
He's looked hungry though, hasn't he? He's looked like he's been really in the mood from the first minute. He was working back. He was coming looking for the ball. He was always available. Those little touches, you know, those little flicks, sometimes they don't come off, but you only really try them when you're confident. And it's a real indicator of where a player's mindset is. And all game he's looked like he's been ready to dominate this game, and he'll be thinking about a hat-trick now, no doubt about that.
Ben Pierman made him come off the bench against the Hounds. First time in the last few weeks that he's been a sub, not a starter. He said, okay, bet, I'm taking my spot back. And sure enough, in this starting run, he's been brilliant. First couple touches for the champ himself, Sean Suber. He sets the run up. Yoda getting his first answer and able to defend. Cabrera will take his time. Again, Charleston will be man up the rest of the way, following the Milanes red. So if you're repping black and yellow tonight, if you don't 100% love the look in front of you, you can back it out because you have a permanent numbers advantage. Foster. Into the man himself. Oh. At this point, you almost expected it, didn't you? Sails high.
He knows that was the hat-trick opportunity. I mean, okay, 3-0, they can afford to be a little bit relaxed about this, but this was a huge chance. He should have put this away. But he gets way too much time and space. I mean, Miami have given him that kind of room all night tonight, and they've not learned their lesson.
Messer, by the way, on that last goal, getting the assist, so that will be his 7th. Already top 5 in our league in that category and continuing to rise.
Boy, it won't be last, that's for sure.
Yeah, he had plenty of assist-worthy balls in that first half, so not a big surprise there. Eastern Conference title with Rhode Island. Now looking to get back there and then some. The championship side, Charleston Battery. Talk about that consistency for Charleston. It's easier said than done. Miami looking to set a counter. Yoda. That's what you got to do, man down. Yoda's centering feed denied by the Battery. USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN Plus. Go to USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. Happy to have you here on Golazo. Corey and Simon with you, along with our entire crew. A couple days after, we all thought we'd be hanging out, but absolutely nothing wrong with some championship ball here on a Monday night.
Charleston just happy to take a little breather here. It's really up to Miami to decide what they want to do about this game.
John Suber instead thinking about a goal. Him and Emilio Icasa just missed on the connection. Icasa, the face of that consistency, the 4th-year man for Charleston Battery. And it's a lineup they've had to rebuild a couple times. We talked about Lexington at the half. They went out, got some big Ben Pierman-influenced pieces. The entire assistant pool for the Battery had to be rebuilt. The curse of being good, right, is you're going to have constant traffic because you have valuable assets. But Charleston has continued to reinvent themselves in all the ways that matter.
And they'll probably continue to have to do that.
Yep.
You look at this side, and you can see one or two players in this Charleston side that teams at a higher level or elsewhere in the world will be looking at and thinking they could help us a lot. So they want to keep this side together until the end of this season. But then the next window, at the end of this season, you can see a few clubs having a look at some of these players.
We already know of one. Colton Swan announced yesterday off to Hibbs following the conclusion of this season. We'll go the rest of the way, though. Ulysses cross in a dangerous spot, but takes a Charleston carom, and they're just able to clear it out, finding Malik Foster, who was fouled.
Yeah, that's a great move for Colston because Hibernian is and the Scottish League is a good league to move into. I think he'll have a chance to get games relatively early. Whereas if you go to a Premier League club or even a Championship club as a striker, you're going to have to bide your time. I think he probably will have to bide his time a little at Hibernian, but he'll get opportunities. They're a really well-established club, and as soon as he gets there, people from bigger clubs are going to be watching him from day one. And that's the difference when you go to a club like that. So, good sign for Charleston as well that they'll be able to produce players that are attracting investment from Europe.
Investment from Europe, investment from this league. Aaron Malloy picking up a big transfer fee. It's not new for this Charleston side, but propelling domestic talent like Colton Swan, the youngest player of the month in the championship. I think that is some of the USL at its best. Creating a domestic environment where a player can thrive, goes to college for 1 year at Indiana, then comes here and elevates his station enough that he can go to a top flight league abroad and really broaden the blueprint of American soccer. That at its core is what it's all about.
Yeah, and this league is being scouted very closely now by clubs particularly from England and Scotland, but also you see players moving to Germany and to the Netherlands and so on. And, for these clubs, it's revenue to do that, but it also helps their recruitment as well because now, Ben Pearman can go and he can say to players, look, I had a striker who just moved to Scotland after a year with us,
Right.
Come to our club and we'll give you an opportunity, we'll give you a platform to build the next phase of your career. That's important. If you can win a trophy along the way while you're doing it, then Colton will be hoping that's how his story at Charleston ends. Even better.
One thing we don't talk about as much in this league, but it is incredibly important, the recruiting aspect. It's almost college football in its nature, where recruiting is paramount. In this league, you'd need it just as much.
Absolutely. And those conversations coaches have with young players in college soccer or young players playing at a lower level, whether it be, USL 2 or USL 1, they're convincing them to come to this club, and they want to know, in the modern game, very rare that a player joins the club and then spends his rest of his career there. They want to know what could be down the line for them. What opportunity they have to improve.
Suber just outside the 18. Another nifty back heel to follow Sales, but Battery sending a clear message. Not going to be content, up 3 and a man up. Bashir and Jai a little shaken up for Miami.
In Ben We Trust, says the banner behind the goal.
Yeah, why not? 8 all-league guys in his first 3 years, the second fastest in our league to 100 wins. Look at Jai getting helped.
Crap.
Nothing new for a Miami side here. Just an extra step, and you start to feel it.
Yeah. Awkward step there.
Miami will send some reinforcements in here, and Jai will step aside. Tommy Musto enters the match. Missed a couple matches ago against Vegas, made his return against Hartford, played 16 minutes. Another domestic talent. The first Hawaii-born player from Maui to join LAFC. Continuing to work his way further east, now playing for Miami and Thomas Musto. Diego Melo, the other sub on. Second Miami FC Academy player to sign as a full pro. Our backup goalie today, Rodriguez, was the first. Something we've seen a lot from Miami FC, right? An emphasis on getting that academy piece right. And ironically, as we talk about how Charleston has created some transfer fee opportunities for themselves to bolster their club, exactly what Miami wants to do.
Yeah, and on a much bigger scale, right? With the big plans the club have got for the future. Eventually moving south to Homestead, building a whole academy project there.
Run towards the byline, but nothing to be had for it. The other way we go. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the grassroots to the pros, Select is there every step of the way. us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice.
I mean, it should be something that Miami are able to really build over the coming years, I think that, because if you're looking to, we're talking about recruitment and so on, it's not a difficult place to convince people to come to.
It is not. That has long been a fixture for the college teams in the 305, selling the city. And especially at the Division II level in the college ranks, to the NAI level, where all resources are more or less equal, and it becomes a good old-fashioned recruitment, you see a lot of success in South Florida, the Tri-County area from West Palm Beach all the way down to Miami. To your point, there's a lot of desire to live down in South Florida, especially if that living is covered and you take the expense part out of it, because it is not cheap. No. Blackstock getting ready to come in for Charleston. Good threatening chance, heads the area, the little deflection just wide of the mark. But the battery buzzing again. Nathan Messer really wants to get on this score sheet with a goal. He's already got the assist.
Well, he's been dangerous all night, hasn't he? He's just getting into an inside left position, and Foster's had a good game.
A round of applause for Malik Foster. And why not? He started this thing off brilliantly. Give, go, and get. Malik Foster buries it. That communication with Barry, that would be his opening appetizer of the day. Malik Foster got his 7th to tie the Charleston high.
Yeah, that's a goal born on the training ground. That kind of understanding only comes from reps. He's just getting into an inside left position and
a round of applause for Malik Foster. And why not? He started this thing off brilliantly. Give, go, and get. Malik Foster buries it. That communication with Barry, that would be his opening appetizer of the day. Malik Foster got his 7th.
On the training ground, that kind of understanding only comes from reps, and Foster, that smile.
Punched away by Room, still loose, and that bouncing ball of chaos has been the weapon of mass destruction. Graham Smith has his first for the Battery. In appearance 199 in the championship, the vet gets it done.
Yeah, not a man known for his goals, but an absolutely rock-solid presence at the back. But now he pops in and joins the party, and it's becoming a rout now for Charleston. Miami really haven't defended tightly enough at these set pieces. Broom doesn't get rid of it. It falls rather fortunately, really, for Smith there, but the pushing and shoving, Smith just reacts. This is a good finish from the defender.
It's a Pepper Law Firm corner kick that leads to the goal for Graham Smith. Ben Pierman, extremely efficient when describing his guy. Played for them in Memphis, now does so again. The type of player you need in a club. Well, that need manifests in a 62nd minute goal to push Charleston up 4-0.
But you know what he means there, really. Yeah, when you see Charleston play, he's just rock solid at the back. He's a calm, he's one of these leaders, I think, who leads by example out there. Very, very impressive defender, and popping up with a goal as well.
He was the Defender of the Year in 2024. He's been all-league twice, and it speaks to that demand of versatility. You can't just be a defender on this Charleston side. Whew. Most dangerous time is right after a goal is scored, and Langston Blackstock a matter of inches away from his third on the year.
Almost his first touch of the game, that would have been, but Miami need to be careful here at 4-0. This could really run away from them if they don't get a grip, because Charleston are enjoying themselves. They're playing with a real freedom now. Obviously, they're a man up, but Miami seems to have switched off the last 5 or 10 minutes. That's really dangerous in a situation like this.
Especially because these two teams are not done playing each other. The second to last match of the year for Charleston will be the rematch at Pitbull Stadium. Miami FC right at the conclusion of their campaign for that one. And that might be a really important points opportunity for the South Florida side. A nifty little lift from Barry.
But again, the time and space he had to be able to turn. I mean, he's not got the tightest of turning circles, Miguel Barry, but he doesn't need it. They give him all that room.
Alec Hughes into the match here for Charleston. Jeremy Kelly had some good moments. Gets the chance to step aside for Alec Hughes. And you hear the round of applause. Alec Hughes, studying overcoming adversity, missed the first couple months of the year. But as Charleston has gotten healthier, had some guys return, Colton Swan wasn't hurt. He had international duty, but now he rejoins the roster as well. It's a battery attack that is in full form and showing it.
Thought that was Breck Shea coming off the bench there. Huh?
Looks like him. Certainly looks like him. And he's going to get an immediate chance, but flag up. Hughes has scored before, got a goal against Jacks. So it wouldn't have been his first. But a player that Coach Pierman has wanted for a minute. We talk about that recruiting portion. They talked to him last year. And a case study in the importance of maintaining relationships. We talk a lot about it in the college game, with the transfer portal being a thing now. You can never stop recruiting. You can never stop talking to a player. It's true here in the championship as well. And Alec Hughes is a perfect case study. Blackstock out wide. Langston Blackstock centering feed back to him. Blackstock, nifty couple of touches, goes for goal, didn't get all of it, room cleans.
Nice touches though, nice moment of skill there from Blackstock. The drag back when he gets this ball back. Lovely little touch. Just doesn't quite create enough space for that left foot shot.
Didn't get the chance to go against his former team last week for Charleston. So well rested and nearly made another one happen that would be the 5th, of course, for the battery. Miami looking for something against the grain to build into this. The good news for them, they get back to Pitbull Stadium. They will welcome in the champions. It will certainly be a challenging match. Battery matches, the perfect place to make lifelong memories with your friends and family. Your group of 10 or more can enjoy discounted tickets, exclusive on-field experiences, and private hospitality areas to catch the match. Visit charlestonbattery.com to learn more and plan a memorable night at Patriots Point. Tonight most certainly has been. You don't get the opportunity on a Monday night very much. Here on a school night, go out and see your team score 4 and thoroughly control the match from almost the onset.
Yeah. And with, 24 minutes to go, plus stoppage time, I think they'll be looking to add to that tally as well. Cramp setting in for another play now.
So as Charleston resets, they get to do so from a very comfortable position because they are up 4-0 and got it started relatively early. Coach Pierman's side. This is the best passing group in our league, Simon, and they show it right here. That's accurate, that's delivered, and it's brilliant.
Yeah, and the finish from Foster, ice cool, knew exactly what he was doing, what he wanted to do, and how to execute. And Miguel Berry, that brilliant turn there, and then the confidence to round the keeper, not be put off by that sliding challenge, and just slip it home.
There, just a little touch. All it took, a little deflection, and Berry gets his second.
Just a brutal blast from Berry, that one.
Room did all he could, but way too much traffic. Boy, if that's not always the case in Miami. And Charleston able to take advantage. The Battery, as a side, leading the championship in pass percentage. And ordinarily you think, okay, maybe they're not passing it as much and doing so on lesser volume. Not at all. The second most passes. So they distribute it often, very, very efficiently, and it's one of the big reasons why you see that scoring summary in the bottom left.
Yeah, absolutely. They play football the right way. You know, they get the ball on the ground, they try to play, but they don't overdo it. It's not possession for possession's sake. They're always looking to find the angles, find the spaces, and then quickly activate those rapid exchanges that have proved so effective tonight.
All smiles on that side right now. Battery continuing to ascend as a franchise. Their last win prior to this against Loudoun, good for number 200 in Battery history. Everything continues to come up as Messer feeling it. He's been very, very busy. And at this point, if you're Ben Pierman, no reason to force the issue for a guy who's played 1,600 minutes. But it will be Miami making the first sub. As Tunbridge gets the opportunity to head on. Loca will head off. So Locadia done for the day. And the biggest reason for this, of course, is the red, Simon. But the 8-goal scoring man, Jurgen Locadia, didn't get a touch in the final third here. That's going to prove a very difficult recipe more often than not.
No, it's been a quiet night for him. And not had the service, not had the opportunities. Just been a very, very disappointing performance from Miami FC's perspective. They haven't been competitive enough across the field. You know, they've given too much space to Berry and the other attackers from Charleston. Haven't been close enough in midfield after starting off pretty well in midfield, battling, getting a lot of challenges in. But
and the visitors have had moments like that where they've been able to buzz inside the 18, but unable to capitalize. Played ahead. A whistle towards the goal line. Didn't get across on the swing from Hughes. So close to Alec Hughes' second, but it remains 4-0 Charleston. How about the run from Berry?
Great. Carrying it all the way, Berry, and then he gives it to Hughes. Put it away. No, the goalkeeper gets a touch, and then the follow. He's just got to put that away. That's a really bad miss. He'll want that back. Right foot shot first time, and then it's on his left.
You can see it. He can't believe it.
Yeah, he knows that was a huge chance. But if you're going to miss a chance like that, miss it at 4 when you're 4-0 up.
That's a cost-free education right there. That's tough to come by. A lesson that will ultimately be very unlikely to cost Charleston anything. Good news for Miami FC. Even as Locadia done for the day, still a goal in 3 of 5 for him. They'll need him to get going. to be able to re-spark this thing. Very much a Miami guy, not only being the leading scorer for Miami FC, but back home in Holland, he was making music, and in his post-soccer career, he wants to be an MC, he wants to be a DJ. And look, Miami is a pretty good spot for that.
Yeah, you'll find opportunities.
A lot of aspiring DJs in the 305. It's a good market for it as Chris Allen comes in. Didn't go against Pittsburgh, gets an opportunity now. Had to overcome injury, missed the end of last year, early parts of this year, working his way back, and now gets an opportunity for his longtime head coach, Ben Pierman. Chris described himself as a terrible patient in that rehab process. I think that's the case for a lot of athletes. You want to go out there as soon as possible, and the physio's got to be like, no, not yet. You feel ready, but you have to be careful.
And game day's the worst for them, you know. Talking to athletes on game days when they're injured, they hate it because they're kicking the ball in their head when they watch the game, but also
it's a well-timed slide by Emilio Icaza.
Also, it's just those constant conversations. I try to stop myself doing it when I bump into an injured player around a game.
Sure.
Because they just get sick of hearing it. Hey, how's your leg? How's the ankle?
Right.
How long are you going to be out? And it just gets wearisome for them. But these are competitors. They want to be out there playing all the time. And, you know, the professionals, the medical people, they have to fight against that, really. They have to be able to be willing to make themselves unpopular sometimes.
It's one of the most isolating things, not only in sports, but overall. You hear it from every athlete at any level. The best part is the locker room, your friends, the team, and when you're unable to take part for physical reasons, it certainly takes a toll. Perhaps fittingly, Icaza had that last sliding tackle. He's been a real advocate for that. Mental health in the USL Championship, understanding the importance of that, the toll that it can take, and how to respond. Charleston looking for their fifth. It was Icaza who might have thought about the shot right there, but it got deflected out wide. Zubaidi holding along on that sideline, the newcomer for Miami FC. Reminder, fans, the Battery are back in action at Patriots Point on Wednesday, September 2nd as they take on Hartford Athletic FC. Kickoff for that match is at 7 p.m. and tickets are on sale now. Get yours before they're gone at SeatGeek.com/Charleston Battery tickets. Good 1-2 touch, saved by Room. Just came into the match, did Chris Allen, and he's a matter of inches away from his second for the Battery.
He struck it well, didn't he? Really firm shot. Ball falls to him in that inside left channel, brings it down, once touch, left foot shot, it was going in. Great save. Great save from Room. We've seen that before from him.
Yeah, not the first time by any means. Time for a Pepper Law Firm corner kick for Charleston Battery. They've already cashed in on one of these. Now they send Kramohov to the side. His ball created a little bit, but it's deposited towards those Charleston flags in the back. Emilio Icaza, wearing the captain's armband, wanted one for the road.
Yeah, Room not getting there. Goalkeeper really at fault there. You can't come out off your line and then not get anywhere near the ball. We got away with that one. But it's just damage limitation, really, from this point for Miami.
Icaza looking to score against Miami for the second year in a row. Got in on the parade in that win for Charleston Battery last year. Joey Apononu had the first goal. Barry, a brace and an assist, this time taken off the ball.
plays over Tunbridge. Big switch in. Just an easy grab from John Berner.
Yeah, he's had a quiet night, hasn't he, really, back in the starting lineup action. He's spent a lot of his career waiting for moments, hasn't he? And then they come along and you hope you're up to speed, you know? And he's come in and he hasn't had a lot to do, has he, in fairness? But, you know, clean sheet will certainly be welcome for him.
It's no stranger situation for John Berner. He debuted in MLS with Colorado Rapids in 2014, and in that offseason, got picked. They said, hey, you're going to be our third string goalie. Then all of a sudden, over the course of the offseason, 2 injuries later, a couple of changes, and he's the opening day starter. Hey, you got to go. That's the life of a goaltender.
It's a weird one, isn't it? Because you can also, you know, the opposite can happen. That you can pick up a little injury. You can be the regular number one. The next guy comes in, replaces you for one game, and you never get your place back. You know, and it's happened all the time throughout the history of the game. It's just a very, very tough position to play because there can only ever be one of you.
You have influence, of course. That's why it's always called the goalkeeper union. There's a communication, chemistry aspect. But yeah, it's like quarterback in American football, right? Ultimately, you only have one. Home up plays wide, finding Blackstock. Charleston does not need a sense of urgency by any means. But they have continued to search for a little bit more padding as the team came into the game week, now spanning multiple game weeks, leading the league in goals, and that's going to remain the same head into this week. Super the save to reset. Final 10 or so minutes from Patriots Point. Battery on the doorstep of 8-0-2 on their home ground. But an interesting week for them. A big road trip out to Vegas to take on Light. So they're going to play here, obviously, tonight. Probably head out to the desert here over the course of the next couple days and try and keep the momentum going. On the road this year, 3-7-1 are Charleston Batteries. So maybe a little bit of fatigue. Certainly some management will have to go into it. That's not exactly a short trip.
No, it's a tricky one, isn't it? And like I think people, even non-athletes who make those trips out west, they can be deceptive, can't they? You know, I mean, they call it sleepless in Seattle for a reason, right? You're waking up at like 4 in the morning instead of 7 in the morning, and it just, for me, in a weird way, it plays with the body clock more than like even going to Europe in some respects, because you know when you go to Europe, you switch it off, you're in a different time zone, but you're not. It feels like you're still at home when you go to the West Coast, and you're not.
It's a total change when you cross the pond. You can't even imagine any type of jet lag or anything like that because it's a total mindset shift. You're right. Go out to the West Coast. It feels almost the same and yet completely different. The upcoming schedule for both these two, also kind of a tale of two patterns. Even though Charleston Battery is headed out this week, 3 of their next 5 are here at Patriots Point. So a real launching pad for the best home side in the championship. Meanwhile, for Miami FC, they get back to South Florida, welcoming the champs at Pitbull Stadium. Then they go back on the road for 3 more. From August 12th to September 26th, that is 6 of 7 on the road for Miami FC. A very challenging final stretch of the year.
Well, they're going to have to apply themselves much, much better than they did tonight if they're going to have any chance of making it into the postseason. Got to close teams down and show a little bit more energy and determination to go with the flair that we know this team has.
The good news is you do weather that type of storm. Do you get on the right side of the line? You're coming into it momentum, confidence. You've been forged by fire at that point, playing in basically every venue the championship has to offer. Battery want a capstone. Room denies it. Chris Allen has already taken a couple shots on goal here in the last couple. Had 1 on the year. But it's a day for Charleston to bolster their own confidence. Why not?
All right, fans, we got about 8 minutes left in the match.
Yeah, everything's gone their way tonight. But they created that situation. Helped by that red card, obviously, massive factor in the game. But honestly, the way the game was going up until that red card as well, you wouldn't have ruled out a scoreline like this. Maybe not 4, but
sure.
A comfortable 2 or 3.
Battery had definitely flipped the switch after it was Miami FC throwing the first couple of jabs. Battery broke out the uppercut and took this decision well away from the judges' scorecard.
My wife says I haven't grown up yet.
Subaru will just leave it off. Now, you'll give Barry a break. Didn't quite time the run. I don't think there's going to be very many negative marks on Miguel Barry after an absolutely sensational match today.
Oh, he's been fantastic, hasn't he?
Your heels, say yeah.
Bridge, who just came into the match, getting tied up with Graham Smith. Smith just picked up the yellow. It'll be his 5th. That's a bit of late match enforcement. Sometimes you see that, right? A foul that might be on the borderline in the late stages. You just want to keep everything underneath the ceiling within reason. And so you get a yellow here in the final few.
But looking at this Charleston side, I mean, this game being on a Monday night and lots of people around the league will be watching it, I think this has been a statement performance from them. I think if anyone in USL Championship was wondering whether Charleston are contenders this year, you know?
If they're wondering if Charleston is a contender, I might urge them to simply watch the USL.
If anyone was.
I don't know what that looks like, my friend, to be honest with you. It's sort of like wondering if the Kansas City Chiefs are contenders. It's like, well, they've been pretty good for a little while. They've been pretty stable. Got some players on that team.
That quarterback's not bad.
You know? Club founded in 1993. History of our league. And it's been turned around, for sure. Played in, a nice header. He's been looking for it for a while, and Alec Hughes is there to capitalize. Missed the first couple of months of the year. He's back, and he's got the batteries fit.
Yeah, not a goal. Improving the goal differential. But for Alec Hughes, getting in there at that near post and steering that one home, that'll be a good little boost to his confidence. Times the run nicely, and good header. Good firm header. And this is a complete route now. And that look on Leroy Room's face tells you all you need to know.
Chris Allen, Alec Hughes, each was looking for their second. Each has been extremely aggressive in trying to find it. Charleston did not sit back by any means. They valued possession, they understood the situation, but those guys were getting after it. And Alec Hughes will have both of his goals on the year against Florida teams. A goal against Jax and a goal against Miami. Boy, he'd sure love to round out the set and get one against Tampa Bay. Scoring on Rowdies is a different animal. Hughes, one of the best to ever do it at UMass, led the nation in scoring. Whether it's in college, USL 1, 2, championship, you have that touch, And again, it's Charleston Battery adding to their league-leading goals off the bench. It's as much about the mindset as is the score, right? Whether you win by 4 or 5 doesn't mean that much in the aggregate. But when you're Coach Bierman, foul from behind, that's going to be a card. And you have the opportunity to say, hey, guys, cultivate that aggression. Keep the score at your mind at 0-0. Go out there and execute. Charleston has done that time and again, and they've done it here as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a thoroughly professional performance from start to finish because they didn't really change the way they were playing after the red card. They just carried on doing the right things, and they've played with confidence. But the shape of the team looks good. You know, they all know where they're supposed to be playing. The substitutes have come on and slipped into their roles perfectly. So really a lot to be pleased about from a Charleston perspective tonight.
When Rocha picks up the yellow, his third. There have been some very good things this season, make no mistake about it, for Miami. Rocha at the face of it. He was the team of the round in round 4 of cup play, him and the captain Knudsen. It'll be Miami FC trying to capitalize and regain that form they had in the early and mid parts of the calendar. A little bit less than 10 match days to go for those teams in the championship.
Yeah, they need to hurry up, don't they? If they're going to refine some form, time is going to start ticking out for them if they're not careful.
In a fun year, some big highlights, even some stuff that doesn't count. They had a friendly against England right before the World Cup. A couple of English players on this Miami side, so that certainly brought a smile to their face. Although the end result for England, perhaps as it always is, just a bit short.
I'm not getting involved.
I see that. I tried to bait you here at the end, my friend. You weren't having it. That's all right. Good for you. Miami FC hoping for one for the road. The arm extended. Werner got to it regardless.
Yeah, a few tired bodies out there now as we enter the final stages. Bits of cramp, bruises here and there. At this point, if you're Miami FC, you just want to go off the field, though.
They've been in Charleston far longer than they envisioned. Originally designed to play a couple days ago. Charleston got the benefit of putting a little bit more time in between them, that challenging result against Pittsburgh, and they most certainly have done that. Wins the 3 of the last 4, commanded things against Brooklyn. And in all likelihood at this point, it's the exact same line. They beat Brooklyn 5-0. They're right there.
Fans are reminded that the official time is kept on the field by the officials. Thank you.
The subs have been just as good as the starters today for Charleston Battery. No big surprise. But the subs brought to us by Publix have been as good as any pub sub. And Charleston lives up to the sponsorship. Cuban sandwich, pub subs, we're getting it. Got a South Florida feel. Even here at Patriots Point, room cleans. Omar Cabrera, nearly at his 5th. Work night for most here on a Monday night. Maybe someone's going to go and get a Cubano tomorrow or hit up Publix for the GOAT, the chicken tender sub.
With hot sauce or without?
If you're working, maybe without. If you're at home tomorrow, go with. Challenge yourself. Elevate your game. Charleston has certainly elevated their game tonight. Last few games, Battery outscoring their opposition 12-3. That's good.
No, they're going to take some stopping out. They really are going to take some stopping. And I think those playoffs are going to be really, really, really interesting this year. I think there's going to be some great soccer on offer to people. Really, some of the top teams in this division, East and West, dinging it out. It's going to be great.
You've got the teams that have been at the top largely throughout, always posing a threat. You've got some other teams that are just playing really well. Miami with the chance, but there were two to block it. Sean Suber doing his thing with his championship pedigree. He was the one who got in the way. Defender of the Year finalist a year ago. Does not lose that form even with his new team.
Segnore, terminato. Miami 0. Charleston Patrick 5. Charleston Patrick. Gara-gara.